Mara，Mara，Mara，还是拿你笔记本上一下 Zoom，然后我们试一下那个。还是用你的电脑试一下 Zoom，然后我们看一下。对，那个链接你有吗？
对，在转播群里是吧？
是，你把 Zoom 发给我。在这儿有，再往前面就没。不，前面。
Society at China Academy of Art. It's a great honor to moderate this morning's section, which includes the opening remarks and the first panel of our conference titled Manufacturing Sauce. Now welcome our Professor Huang Sun-Quan to deliver address. Welcome.
I think the translation is a little bit weird, but, but it's okay, especially for Chinese. Okay, good morning, everyone, and president and online friends. It's, you know, it feels truly magical to be here in Chiang Mai, right here on the campus of Chiang Mai University. I'd like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our speakers who have traveled so far to be here, as well as our online friends. And of course, a big thanks to you, Chiang Mai University and ICDI, for making all of this possible. Thank you. I'd like also to thank GCC for supporting us in expanding our public initiatives. This week, the city, the Chiang Mai, is alive with over 100 events where technology, knowledge, culture are mixing and evolving in the extraordinary ways. It's a privilege to contribute this to this vibrant exchange. This is the ninth year for our annual conference of Network Society. Each year, we will develop into a topic concerning our social realities, inviting scholars, artists, curators, researchers to explore them with us. This year, we're in the Global South. It's a region where technology and capital have penetrated deeply, often controlling the pace of development, resulting in chronic poverty, a development of underdevelopment, as Samir Amin might say. The flow remained unchanged, but the spirit here are involved. Today, it's influenced by digital nomads. Those following the footsteps of the hippies from the 60s, the new communes of the 70s in US, and the new age traveler of the 90s. I find this diverse culture exhilarating, but I'm also concerned. Is the tropical paradise just an old cage of new dreams? One that risk in shaping entire generation Sorry. And that, I mean, it's a new cage of the old dreams. It's an old cage for the new dreams. One that risk in shaping the entire generation deals. Like Baja, the game player and the PR darling of some crypto circles, talk about the network state, which sounds like a private paradise for those seeking to erase the origin of real-world inequalities. Let's be clear. They are focused on the shareholder, other than the stakeholders. Since 2008, starting with the financial crisis and the birth of the Bitcoin, income inequalities has only worsened. By 2020, the richest guy, 12% of adults held 84.9% of the global wealth. In 2008, the top 1% held 18.5% of the income. By 2020, the figures rose to 19.3%. So, I mean, the 2024 Nobel laureates in economy scientists like Dorian and Samuel Johnson pointed out in their book, Power and Progress. They say, today's progress is again enriching a teeny elite of entrepreneurs and investors, while most people feel disempowered. They argued that a more inclusive version of the technology can only emerge if the basis of the social power changes. And that's why I'm hoping for that the Global South can become a majority force for the social changes and a driver of inclusive technology. I hope this transformation can start here in Chiang Mai. Maybe even with our conversation, we have 2 days, the next 2 days, right? And thank you all very much again.
Thank you, Professor Wan. The next speaker is the Dean of International College of Digital Innovation, Dr. Logela Argelon. Welcome, Dr. Logela Argelon. Welcome.
Good morning, Professor Dr. Chun Sun Huang from Institute of Network Society at the School of Intermedia Art, China Academy of Art, invited speakers and all distinguished researchers, guests, and attendees. As the Dean of the International College of Digital Innovation at Chiang Mai University, I extended a warm welcome to our esteemed scholars and students and community members here today. As we gather here today for the 9th annual conference of Network Society, Polyphonic Global South, the space of technological communication, we are reminded of the dynamic of relationship between technology, the economy, and society. Technological innovation, particularly digital advancement, serves as a critical foundation for a modern society and economy. In turn, our economic structures and societal functions adapt and evolve in response to these technological shifts. It is a true honor for ICDI to be a co-host this distinguished conference organized by the Institute of Network Society at the School of Intermedia Art, China Academy of Art. This gathering offers an invaluable opportunity to explore intersection of technology and society that shape our future. We extend our deepest appreciation to the organizing team from Great China Commons, Chiang Mai University Blockchain Association, and FOSIS for their dedication and effort in bringing this event to life. We hope you enjoy the discussion and presentations ahead and live inspired. Thank you and welcome.
So thank you very much, Professor Dr. Sun Chuang Huang and Assistant Professor Dr. Ruchira Uncharan. So at this point, my name is Dr. Natapon Udomnaskun, the lecturer of ICDI. I will take a short MC for a moment. And at this time, we would like to invite the Dean, Assistant Professor Dr. Ruchira Uncharan to present a small gesture of appreciation to our distinguished guests for their invaluable contribution to this conference. So firstly, may I invite Professor Sun Chuang Huang, the director of the Institute of Network Society, to come forward and accept this gesture of appreciation. So next, may I ask Yi Si Liu, researcher at the Institute of Network Society, to please come forward. So finally, I would like to welcome Nicolas Hu, the contributor of 4Cs, to come forward and receive the recognition. But today he not available in the morning, so we have some representative. Okay. Okay, so thank you all once again for your remarkable contribution to make this conference.
Thank you very much. Our last speaker in opening remarks section is Hazel. He is the team lead of GCC. Welcome, Hazel.
So, hello everyone. Good morning, and I'm very honored to be here today to show congrats and also our support for the ninth annual conference of Network Society. So, GCC is short for Global Chinese Community of Universal Digital Commons. So I know it's a very long name. And we are the donation fund, or I think maybe the only crypto donation fund in the community dedicated to supporting the digital public goods and distributors. We were established last summer, and over more than a year, we've donated nearly $600K US dollars to this area. And so this year, when ISU came to us, I think maybe a few months ago, and to see if we can do something to help the Institute of Net Society, we feel that it's something that we should contribute to. So for GCC, as I mentioned, so our major focus is digital public goods. So before, we mainly focus actually in the crypto area. We've helped the develop education platforms in these communities, and also we helped the research projects the Summer Protocols, Eastern Protocol Fellowship, and also the P2P foundations. And we'll also help some the communities, and will help raise the wellness, women participation in this area, as well as some pop-up cities, some movement that will help for cryptos to generate some real impact in this world. And we feel that the social culture reformation in this rapidly changing world is also very important, and we're very happy that at least in China we have the Institute of Internet Society, to help promote this kind of research and the communications in the global stage. And I feel that in this area, it's a lack, because we usually feel that Chinese people always emphasize a lot about the technology and the product itself, without emphasizing, without paying too much attention to the philosophical areas, and also in the thinking stage. So we think it's a good chance, and also not that enough in the international communications between not just Europe and America, but also with the we call it Global South here. So that's the main focus of us, and that's what we want to do here. So in terms of the so GCC's major workflow, we now have I'm from the operating team, and I'm the team lead of the operations, and also we use a voting committee system for this moment to decide which project we want to contribute to. So our mission is very simple. First, we want to encourage more Chinese people, but maybe more Asian people in the future, because we need to expand the scope to participate in contributing to the digital commons. And the second thing is we want to establish a mechanism that is verifiable, traceable, neutral, can help distribute the funds in this system. So who needs the funds the most, and we will use this mechanism to decide. So to achieve these missions, we now use the voting committee system. So also just is mentioned to me that I think there in this area, not just like Institute of Next Society, but also we have many laboratories, many universities, many researchers who may need the fundings, to help with the project. So I think GCC might be a choice. Like, sorry, I don't have slides today, but you can maybe search online like gccofficial.org, and that's website, and you can find applications there. So we are open applications. So if you find like your projects are like public based, which when I mean public, it means maybe low barrier entry or no barrier entry, and also you have great externalities. Like you can come to us, try to seek some fundings if you need this money to sustain your research, and also you want to do something to help us better understand this changing world with the emergence of blockchain, with AI, virtual reality, all these new technologies. So I think it just will be a starting point when we decided to support this annual conference. And I hope today we will have a great sharing lectures. And I'm also looking forward to learn a lot from today's all this materials and the research results from us. And so hope we had a great 2 days, 3 days here, and hope we can get more like good researchers on board with our support. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Hazel. As part of Stories from the Global South, we have conducted research and filmed a video of Shenzhen as the World Factory. Next, welcome Professor Wan. Have an introduction.
Okay, thank you, Doris. Like, this is the world premiere in Shenzhen. Okay, actually, we conduct a long research project talking about the chip and computing world. So first episode, we'll focus on the Silicon Valley. So we interview a lot of first generation who design and build personal computing, including hippies, the LSD experiments, something like that. And the second episode talking about the world factory, Shenzhen. We'll mainly focus on the China southeast coast cities, this whole area, and want to put this to connect to San Francisco, to Bay Area. And the third episode, we will focus on the chip production, especially in Taiwan and Hsinchu. So those 3 episodes we plan. I hope we can do that. Maybe tomorrow, before I think April, we will produce 3 episodes in that way. So maybe we have the officially screening, then I can invite you guys to come, okay? So we just see this a short film, like a trailer for the Shenzhen World Factory. Okay.
Chinese manufacturing looks like a myth that transcends modernity. This myth often gives the first impression that, especially in the case of its protagonist, Shenzhen, it's a tale of hardworking, low-paid laborers amidst densely packed industries and factories with severe exploitation, showcasing the survival struggles of migrant workers fighting for their livelihoods. These indeed are scenes from Shenzhen, but they do not represent the whole picture. This city, which produces 83% of the world's mobile phones, is home to flagship Chinese companies like Xiaomi, Lenovo, and DJI. First-class Taiwanese OEM factories such as Foxconn, TSMC, and Giant. In Huaqiangbei, a dream market that can satisfy all your needs from design to production, from international trade to personal electronics consumption. It's a constellation of price, diversity, and flexibility of assembly. The World Factory not only provides the necessary products for the world, but also everything it needs for itself. Local hardware startups in Shenzhen are like kids in a candy store, freely experimenting and creating at low costs. The average resident age in this dynamic constellation is 32.5 years old, making it the youngest city in all of China. Over the past 45 years, it has served as the main engine for China's unique form of capitalism, propelling both China and the ICT industry into indispensable roles in the global economy, contributing 15% of global export capacity, second only to the United States. Shenzhen has transformed from a small fishing village of 12,000 people into a metropolis of 17.79 million people. The metropolitan areas of southern and coastal China have pushed the country's GDP from 149.5 billion in 1978 to $12.24 trillion by 2017, an increase of 82 times. Although growth has slowed since then, it still reached 17.8 trillion in 2023, representing an 18-fold increase compared to pre-reform China, with an average annual growth rate of 10% over 45 years, which is more than double the average annual growth rate of 5% in the United States. We can imagine this world factory as a forest ecosystem, which represents a unique development model from the perspective of institutional economics. Before 1978, the forest was filled with large trees, state-owned enterprises, many of which had overgrown to an unhealthy state. After Deng Xiaoping's South Tour speeches, the decision was made not to fell these large trees, but to plant new trees of various sizes in the forest. The diversity of the forest increased, with township enterprises, private businesses, foreign invested companies, along with state-owned enterprises all coexisting. The trees in this forest compete for living space and nutrients. Among them, Taiwanese enterprises grow fast and thrive with favorable environment. From 1995 to 2008, some of the large trees, like Foxconn and the shoemaker Feng Tai, stood out and grew several heads taller than their neighbors. After 2008, while there were still many robust foreign and Taiwanese transplanted trees, they no longer stood out prominently, and their importance to the overall health of the forest diminished. The global financial crisis severely impacted China's primary export markets, as well as export-oriented enterprises. The government actively nurtured domestic enterprises and promoted technology entrepreneurship policies, utilizing local government guiding funds to nourish the native large trees, while foreign and Taiwanese enterprises felt the effect of pruning their branches. This city in the Global South is undergoing a transformation through the Shenzhen Bay Super Project, which aims for large-scale infrastructure construction, industrial upgrading, and public facility renovation, with hopes of achieving significant results by 2035. Before the centenary of China's founding in 2049, Shenzhen strives to become a model of global innovation city. Perhaps the era of China as the world factory has already come to an end. This state-driven version of economic development marks the age of mass entrepreneurship and mass innovation, a post-Shanghai era, and a time of the triumph of innovative realism. It is also a story of reversing the chronic poverty of the Global South.
Okay. So next, let's welcome all the speakers to come on our stage for a group photo together. So now let's start our first panel, Manufacturing Source. Let's welcome our first speaker, Dr. Wang Hongzhe. Dr. Wang is a media historian and associate professor in the Department of Journalism and Communication at Peking University. His research interests include the history of media technology, the Cold War, cybernetics, the information society, and labor studies. Today, he will present on From Techno-Romanticism to Techno-Feudalism, a comparative historical study of early information societies in China and South Korea. Welcome.
Okay, first, let me thank the conference organizer and all the students for bringing us here. Thank you. So let's start with a movie. Yeah. Sure. It's a research of early stage, so I appreciate all kinds of critique and discussion.
And this semester, I'm visiting Seoul University in Korea. So I'd like to make a comparative study between Korea and China. My previous study is mainly focused on the digital culture history of China, especially mainland China. Thank you so much. Let's start with the movie. The Taiwanese director Yang Dechang directed this film, Yi, 1 and 2, in the year 2000. In the movie, Wu Nianzhen plays Jiang Nanjun, who works as a partner in an information company in Taiwan. The company was in trouble and approached Ota, Da Tian, a famous Japanese game producer, to talk about collaboration. In his debriefing, Ota presented a bold new plan, wanted to develop a game genre that the market had never invested in before. Ota said, "We can't go beyond." Can't work. Okay, work. Ota said we can't go beyond the Euro computer game products that only have beatings and killings and shootings at the moment. It's not that we don't understand computer well enough, it's that we don't understand people, ourselves, well enough. However, the other partners of the company thought that this idea was too much of a business risk. So they only wanted to invest in the computer game industry by cooperating with Ota. But they also thought that they were only paying for Ota's fame and wanted to make money without risk. In the end, the company preferred to cooperate with a local company also called Ota, which was a copycat of Ota in Japan. Instead, after hearing Ota's report, Nanjun becomes as if he's a sympathetic confidant. Over dinner for the two, Ota asked Nanjun, "Why are we afraid of the first time? Every day in life is the first time. Every morning is new, but we never live the same day twice. But we are never afraid of getting up in the morning. Why?" So in this film, this is the revelation given to Nanjun by this software designer, Ota, and perhaps a reminder to the digital industry of the new century by director Yang. Few people are aware of the film master's deep connection with digital technology. Yang graduated from the Control Engineering Department of Jiao Tong University in 1969 and was later invited to work as a multimedia consultant for Iker Computer Company. Before making movies, he works as information engineering in the United States for 8 years. In 2001, after the release of the film, Yang was interviewed by the media, and the media asked the director what he thought of this wave of internet development. Edward Yang said, "I think the first wave of internet boom is mostly speculative, because many people did not seriously think about the nature of digital technology. They look at new things along the past model. US venture capital funds previously accounted for at most 10% of the capital market. But right now, with advent of digital technology area, venture capital funds even more than 50%, which means that everyone has a gambling mentality. Without a clear vision of the new technology, the direction of most things is problematic and despite will be dangerous." So the year 2000 heralded a watershed as the last dot-com bubble burst and the Asian financial crisis brought to the end of the 1990s of East Asia. And it's through the eyes of a middle-aged man that the movie attempts to hint at the possible consequences of such changing time through the middle life crisis. Like internet history researcher in the past, I try to seek a regional cultural explanation to understanding the dynamics of digital industry change in East Asia in a Max Weber way, to focus on the cultural explanation. So there has been a lot of useful work done in this area, such as California Ideology by Richard Barbaric, Fred Turner's From Counterculture to Subculture, and Hacred Ethic and Spirit Capital, Spirit of Information, as all you know. But however, these studies are based on American and European context, while the range of digital culture in Asia have been influenced by the digital culture in the United States and Europe, but they also contain some unique factors. And so far, our discussion of these East Asian factors is limited, and thus lack a valid discussion of the dynamics that truly shape East Asian digital culture and digital industry. So we need more local knowledge from local context. Here I'm going to take a moment to explain my approach a little more. For methodology, I follow the historical social approach on information society history research and internet history research focused on the role of social technical imaginaries in the history of information technology, like Turner and Barbaric Strater's work. At the same time, I'm also particularly concerned about alternative roles, social, political, and economic processes, and the global flow of knowledge in history of information technology development in the non-Western world, like brilliant work by Eden Medina and Benjamin Peters. Last but not least, I prefer the approach of examining the history of media and information technology in East Asia from the perspective of cultural study and the political economy of communication by East Asian scholars like Dan Yongjing's work on Korean online gaming, and Japanese scholar Toshiya Yoshimi, Jijian Junzai, and also Taiwanese scholar Ke Yufen's work on TV in Taiwan. So East Asia's digital industry is shaping a new global digital future. And Northeast Asia is ahead of Europe and the rest of the world in terms of informatization and digitalization driving political, economic, and cultural change. So through comparative research on history of the digital culture in these countries and regions, we can understand their unique development models, strategies for coping with the challenge, And in addition, this approach will help deepen our understanding of the mutual influence between Asian countries and the mutual learning between countries in other parts of the world, and provide useful reference for future regional cooperation and social innovation. So we can also further understand China's path from a regional comparative perspective. So let's back the film's reminder to us. This makes us wonder, what was the so-called golden age of computer culture in East Asia society in 1990s, and what condition other than economic factors contributed to people's enthusiasm for the IT industry, and how these conditions have since transformed and shaped the current crisis facing East Asian society. And finally, how we can reassess the value of the 1990s. My first keyword is enthusiasm. Unlike the garage culture of Silicon Valley, which emphasized tools and hands-on work, I found that the early computer culture of East Asia has a strong feature of humanism and romanticism. As I just mentioned in the film, Ota and Nanjun identify with each other not only through Ota's debriefing earlier, but also through Nanjun's symphony playing in the car during the parting scene. The two of them identify each other by being audiophile together. They recognize each other as enthusiasts. Audiophile is East Asian word, 发烧友, who can't quite be, can be equaled with amateur, hobbyist, or what Henry Jenkins called fans. But I think, which for me, audiophile is a more complex word, is with a particular humanist value. The audiophile definition, as it happened, came from music. The name audiophile originates in Hong Kong and is the Hong Kong people's term for the early audio equipment enthusiast community in the early days of audio equipment birth around the 1950s and 1960s. At that time, amplifiers, mainly the tube amplifiers, also tube radios, and the big disadvantage of this tube is that when they are turned on for a long time, they can become very hot. That is what Hong Kong people call fever. So people who play with electronic tube when the player is heating up, they usually turn off the player and wait for the player to cool down, and they then continue to play. So they call themselves 发烧友, audiophile. In the 1980s and 1990s, it slowly evolved into a generic term for a community of people who have a special interest in certain things. Perhaps enthusiast is a closer concept to 发烧友. First of all, as we know, enthusiasts are keen to express, share, communicate, find fellows, and form communities. But more importantly, this kind of community must not be satisfied with just focusing on their vertical area of hobby, but will extend from there to form an interest in a broader field and learn by themselves and then form a community with common taste, judgment, standards, values, and even political positions. So there is a continued spectrum from amateur, enthusiast, and humanist. So past research on early Chinese digital culture have overemphasized its top-down techno-nationalist caricature But in my study, however, this techno-nationalism is more of a bottom-up techno-nationalism development by the enthusiast community with a strong humanistic feature, rather than the binary techno-nationalism of advanced backward as understood in the past. So let me give an example, just one example due to the limit of time. This company called Qiandao, Frontier, founded in 1995, was the largest game software product company in mainland China before it disintegrated in 1998. When it was at that time, it was about 50 people with 4 studios. We can look at corporate vision from its founding statement. I don't know exactly what it means, but I'll just read it to you. The computer is a new information media. Software is a new form of culture. So Frontiers is not just a software product company, but also a culture product company. We come together to deliver the best computer culture products to millions of families. Computer interactive art has just sprouted and is far from mature, producing epoch-making dramas and tragedies belonging to the Chinese people is the dream of our company. It is the responsibility of the Frontier to make computer a real mentor for children and a friend in their lives. This is closely related to the strong humanist sentiment of the founder and the team based on my interview. So in the 1990s, the company specialized in adapting the 4 great Chinese novels into games, 4大名著, like the Romance of Three Kingdoms, and the Romance of Three Kingdoms, and I don't know how to translate 水浒传. It's a river margin, or gang beside the river. And you may be more familiar with the Journey to the West, right? This actually the first Journey to the West game in China, and recently you may also heard of a new game called Wukong, the Dark Hero. Actually, it's take the heritage from this company. But a much more interesting thing is that and it's better illustrates the humanistic spirit is the first generation of software people. They are not just focused on the making of software. The precursor focused even more on publications and magazines rather than on making software. It invented the Qiandao. Frontier invested in China's earliest game software magazine, electronic game software, and the largest circulation computer magazine in China's history, the Popular Software. During this period, there were more than 30 or 40 similar software and computer magazines in the market. Let's take a look at the launch of one of the magazines. A game software is both a commodity and a work. We prefer to review a game from the perspective of a work. What that means is we want to make a book with humanism style. And also I can give you some numbers. At their peak around 2000, these magazines all had a circulation of 300,000 to 500,000 per month. And there are 30 to 40 different kinds of magazines like this. And compared to this, as of 2000, the total number of computers, PC in China was just more than 10 million, but of which a considerable number belongs to enterprise, public institution, and educational institution. So the number of personal home computer was less than 5 million. So so we can see the cultural climate of computer users back then from this percentage. Another interesting thing is that software, hardware, and gaming magazine can't thrive without one major reason, piracy and copycat. It is because of the thriving piracy market that software culture has been able to spread rapidly, and magazines can reach a large number of people. In other words, although everyone can afford to buy licensed software, they can afford to buy pirate software and magazines. And magazines have a lot of software and hardware DIY knowledge and game guides, which just meets the self-study and community demands of the enthusiast community. So in the cultural landscape of the 1990s, digital culture was instead the most humanistic compared to music, popular music industry, or compared to TV culture or all kinds of popular culture. Digital culture was the most humanistic, a world of enthusiasts, a world ruled by imagination and also by piracy. Now let's compare it with Korean. Interestingly, when we compare 1990s between China and Korea, Korean never development. Korean also have a thriving piracy market, but Korean never developed this digital community culture with a humanistic feature. In contrast to China, which was in a transitional period between the magazine era and the internet era, Korea went straight into the internet era in the late 1990s. Maybe few of you know exactly that Korea was the first country on earth to popularize broadband internet. So my basic observation here is that Korean digital culture is subtly different from that of the Chinese region. In contrast to the bottom-up enthusiast community and entrepreneurship that developed in China in the 1990s, Korean digital culture is more characterized by top-down national mobilization. In Korean modernity, as we all know, the information society is regarded as an important prerequisite for realizing national economic growth, utopian social vision, and even national reunification. So since the 1997 Korean economic crisis, the vision of an information society has spread in an effort to overcome the crisis and confront influence of globalization. A Korean government has pushed future-oriented information policies such as Cyber-Korean of E-Korean and U-Korean and the Korean 21st. These strong national visions and funding and rhetoric leading Korean to world-class industry by effecting policy making and high motivations. So the image of the future for advanced information society, which highlight the role of scientific and the impact technological development on social change creates image future information, creates image future of highly optimistic view of a Korean change into a more desirable society after incorporating idealized stage of technology development. But yet, the real driving force behind this information society imaginary is not just a utopian society. The dominant form of this imaginary stems from a unique nationalist developmentalism, or developmental nationalism, and a strong instrumental view of science and technology. But however, alternative technology proposals have also appeared during different presidential terms. As an example, Kim Da-jun was influenced by Japanese scholar Junichi Masuda and American scholar Alvin Toffler, as you know, when Kim Da-jun was in prison, and conceived and promoted the development of Trans-Eurasia Information Network, TEIN, this one. As another example, Kim Da-jun was influenced by, in March 2000, President Kim proposed interconnectivities between European and Asian research and education networks. The connection that he envisioned would be between Asia and Europe. I mean, as a creation of an international network of researchers and educators. The connection that he aiming to strengthen source, economic, and cultural ties with the European Union, and as the first leader from Asia who gave a speech at the European Parliament, he described TEIN as a cyber Silk Road, or E-Euro-Asia. For Kim Da-jun, TEIN is just one side of the coin, one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is the Iron Silk Road, a comparative, comprehensive railway network across Europe and Asia, opening us railway transportation between North and South Korea, and the Japan-Korean undersea tunnel connecting Japan. The other side of the coin, connecting Japan, understanding the connection and the differences between Kim Da-jun's Euro-Asian vision and China's One Belt, One Road will help us prove historical results for possible future regional comparative study in the information and transportation field in Northeast Asia. But researchers still know very little about how Kim Da-jun's reading in prison fueled his idea about the internet and transportation. I will do more research in this direction next in the following year. But now I will go to some summarizing and a little discussion. As we know, in Packer Jimenez's Hacker Ethic and the Spirit of the Information Age, he summarized the differences between the Protestant ethic and the hacker ethic. In the Protestant ethic, the superior good is to earn more and more money, and both work and money are seen as the ends in themselves. But the hacker ethic has more social and passionate purpose, and even more entertainment and recreational purpose than monetary purpose, like Linux, free software, and of course Creative Commons. But for me, compared to hacker ethic, the early East Asia digital culture, in the ethics of early East Asia digital culture, humanism has an important place in the ethic of early East Asia digital culture. In addition to the social life, passion, and entertainment ends mentioned by Jimenez. Here, humanism balanced the individualism and libertarianism of the hacker ethic with more collective and shared values. That's my basic point of view. But in the present, both the hacker ethic and its Asian digital culture ethic have declined and even disintegrated. As we all know, at this year's, what remains is new techno-federalist, techno-federalism ethic, which means one that not only seeks to make more and more money, but also is convinced that digital technology platforms should charge rent from people rather than becoming a shared infrastructure for humanity. So this is a very important change, sharing becoming renting. But an analysis should not stop here. It is more important to answer what exactly are the structural changes in capitalism brought about by this change. Here I would like to extend Judy Dean's discussion of techno-federalism as a punishment for consumers, where consumers' goods are reconfigured as means of accumulation. Let me just read Dean's discussion. One's car isn't for personal transportation, it's for making money. One's apartment isn't a place to live, it's something to rent out. Items of consumption are configured as means of accumulation as personal property becomes an instrument for the capital and data accumulation of the laws of the platform, Uber and Airbnb. So this tendency towards becoming peasant, that is to become one who owns means of production, but whose labor increases the capital of the platform owner, is neo-federalism. The interesting thing is, as we know, it is not really hearing the platform laborers who are already in the lower classes, because they have not lost anything more than they did just in the past. On the contrary, their incomes have even briefly increased in short time due to the financial attributes of platform capitalism compared to factory laborers. But the middle class, which plays the role of consumers, is really hurt because when any consumption has to be done through the platform, the middle class is not working for the techno-federal laws. From this point of view, the new technological ethic really hates the traditional middle class. And it is these classes that will be rapidly replaced by AI. As we know, this is also the end of the middle class age or middle class area that capitalism once promised. So the result would be, as Judy Dean suggests, a generalized underclass composed largely of the service sector, In the service-dominated economies of the global north, majorities work in service sectors. Some find that their phones, bikes, cars, and homes have lost their character as personal property and being transformed into means of production, of means of extraction of rent. So to platform owned by others, consumers' items and means of life are now means for the platform owner's accumulation. Most of us constitute a property-less underclass, only able to survive by serving the needs of higher earners. From the report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics says that over the next 10 years, the occupation that will add the most job is personal care aides, not health worker, but aides who bathe and clean people. So the dependence of the ruling class on the vast sector of servant, cleaners, cooks, grocers, cashiers, delivery persons were warehouse personnel, things like that, suggesting new sets of structural points for weakness of where workers can exploit. So came to my final final question. What's the significance of the 1990s in East Asia? Yeah, maybe there's still not clear answer, but I think it is based on my current observation. It's worth to mention is that I think it is the only society, the only time where the formation of the so-called middle group, middle class, the formation of the middle group and the formation of digital culture were at the same point in time. So this particular stage of change in the social structure and arrival of digitalization overlapped each other, creating a series effects that laid the groundwork for the humanistic atmosphere and enthusiast culture that once characterized the East Asian information society. A very simplified conclusion. And this decline of humanism and the rise of techno-federalism will be closely related to the fate of information future, not just in East Asia, but also for all of us, for the world. And it's worth continuing to make a sustained observation and reflection. Stop here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor Wen. Now is our Q&A time. We have 10 minutes for Q&A, so you can raise your hand if you have questions to ask Professor Wen. Okay, microphone. Wait. Oh, it's okay for you.
Thank you very much. So I saw you referring to some other class analysis, but I'm not understanding of your work, what kind of methodology you're using and how is your work influenced by Marxist methodology?
Thank you for your question. It's a good question, and I think it's complicated, and I can just give a brief answer.
Yeah, every Chinese that I ask this question, always it's complicated. You are not the first Chinese researcher that tell me this.
For me, I may be more close to Weberian Marxism. I pay much more attention on the cultural explanation, but the cultural explanation for me is to find a certain kind of subjectivity to, I don't know, to give explanation for economic outcomes. So that's my basic methodologies, which means it begins from cultural analysis, cultural study, but at the end, and I hope I can touch, or I can to the end of kind of class analysis and political economy, economic analysis. That's my kind of hope of approach. But to be honest, whether I have done the work worth or suitable or is use or do it right, I'm not quite confident and sure, but I'm still trying. Yeah, that's kind of approach. Yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
Thank you very much. It's a valuable talk. And I was very much interested in your comparison of the historical trajectories of digital cultures in Korea and in China. And I was very curious when you speak about how in China it's more bottom-up grounded. And in Korea...
More what?
More in China, you were describing the comparison of the Chinese historical trajectory of digital cultures vis-a-vis Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And in Korea, you mentioned how it was more of top-down, following the national modernization. But I was curious on how you will place the role of the Chinese state in the context of the grounded, bottom-up development of digital cultures in China. I'd love to understand how the state is positioned within that ground-up development. Thank you.
Yeah, but as you know, previous study have done a lot of work to focus on the nation-state's role in the digitalization process, digitalization history of China. So it's the mainstream of a current academic, I think, conclusion. Yeah. From this point of view, China's 1990s history digitalization process is not that different from Korea. Yeah, kind of to some extent, Korea can to be the teacher or the mentor of China because his development of digitalization is 10 years ahead before China. So we just copy the way what Korean done, and the mainstream, the previous discussion is like that. And for me, I just want to take more attention on the social process, on the bottom-up possibilities, and to shape, to format this economic outcomes right now. So there's a kind of balance from previous attitude. So I'm sorry for that. I don't give much more little review about previous study on the role of the nation state of China for the digitalization process.
Dr. Wong, thank you so much for a fantastic talk. I think the way that you show this unique moment of technological development accompanied by the growth of the middle class in both China and Korea in the 90s, I think is such a powerful insight. My question is kind of also about today, and kind of with techno-feudalism, maybe that becoming decoupled a little bit. So like with China, which I know better, you see technology is still advancing at a breakneck pace, like technological innovation in China. But I suppose one of the interesting phenomena in recent years is kind of, the growth of the middle class, not growing so fast, right? And all kinds of questions around that. So I was wondering if you think that's entirely about this kind of challenge with techno-feudalism. And also, I just wanted to ask you, Korea I know almost nothing about. Is Korea facing similar phenomena in the present day? Is that are we seeing a similar kind of bifurcation, if you like, between technological growth and middle class growth? Thank you.
Yeah, I think the crisis are similar between the two countries. and even worse in Korean, because I know that in East Asia, Koreans had about 10 years of China, and so what Korean's current situation is China's situation in 10 years. Yeah, such kind of anticipation. So, but in my point of view, this is not enough time to extend all my political economy problematics. So, in my point of view, the Western scholars who talk about the techno-federalism or neo-federalism, they only address the question, but they don't give solutions, or they dare to give solutions, or they think there is no solutions at all. But for me, a so-called socialist, yeah, I think the platform still has the possibility and potential to be public, yeah. To become infrastructure like electronic power, like gas, like water, which we only charge a minimal amount of money from use of platform infrastructure. Yeah, not a large kind of rent, but this thing maybe for Western scholars, this cannot be done by the nation state. Nation state can't be the owner of the platform infrastructure, so they can't give a possible solution for the current situation. But for me, I'm not saying the state can be the role to publicize the platform, but it's a possibility to thinking about the possible future, to open our our social techno imaginaries of the possible future, to discuss, to argue, and to criticize these different kinds of possibilities. That's yeah, so, sorry.
Since our time is limited, so it's the last question. And next we welcome our second speaker, Melina Lim. Yeah, the Canada Research Chair in Digital Media and Global Network Society, Professor of Communication and Media Studies, and the founder of Alin Media Lab and Carleton University. Her research examines the interplay between digital technologies and society, focusing on the internet, social media, and AI. Her work explores how these technologies and societal dynamics dialectically co-shape each other in areas such as citizen participation, activism, and democratic processes. Today, she will deliver an online presentation titled Effect and Algorithm, unpacking the digital heart of social media politics. So let's turn on our Zoom meeting. Hello, Melina Lim.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi there.
Sorry for the long wait. So you can start your presentation.
Yeah, I will try to start.
Hello. Sorry for the long wait. Can start your presentation.
Okay, let me try to. So anyway, first I want to thank you for the kind introduction. I would like to express my gratitude to the Institute of Network Society, the School of Intermedia Art and the China Academy of Art, and Professor Huang for the warm invitation, and a shout out to Doris for her helpful assistance. And of course, thank you for all of you for being here today. And I'm sorry that I cannot be there. I I know I missed out, yeah. Let me just.
Wait. Hello, Melina, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. So I'm trying to, there is no option on
Okay.
So my talk today is like you can see, it is about affect algorithms. So you watch
Sorry, Melina, we can't see your PowerPoint. Can you present your PowerPoint?
I don't have any option for.
Oh, you can share your Oh, sorry.
No, I can share, but there is no option for just. I want to. Oh, you can share your portion of screen. Okay. I think I have it now. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Thank you.
So here it is, right? So what is it about algorithm?
It's okay.
So you watch one video of a cat playing the piano, and suddenly the algorithm thinks you are ready to start a cat orchestra. Before you know it, you are hooked to something you never expected. Rug cleaning as ASMR. So is there any logic to this? Not really. Social media algorithms are not driven by logic or rationality. So how do we end up seeing what we see and connecting with whom we connect on social media? It's all about likes, loves, clicks, and share, right? Or in other words, it's all about affect. Those emotional, affective interaction between us mediated by algorithms. So in this talk, I will explore how this affective dimension extend beyond personal consumption, playing a crucial role in shaping the political landscape of our society. In today's declining democracy, social media have become a contested battleground where undemocratic actors use algorithms, AI, and disinformation tools to advance anti-democratic agenda. This had led scholars to describe this era as this situation as disinformation order, information disorder, epistemic crisis, fueling post-truth politics. Some scholars even argue that social media has shifted from a tool for democracy to one that destabilizing. While this view reflects a recent political trends, it oversimplifies the nature of social media by depicting it as a separate entity that merely exacerbates real-world politics. It also overlooks the contradictory nature of platform politics. In Southeast Asia, political leaders may exploit social media disinformation to manipulate the public, but also we witness vibrant grassroots or from a public sphere to one of disinformation is an oversimplification, and it's based on flawed assumption. First, on the first assumption that digital network was one, democratic. I think that's actually a flaw. To begin with, it is an influential user come to control much of digital media and definitely social media, making it incredibly difficult. Platform capitalism or Jodidian communicative capitalism, where the primary focus is on data monetization and platform capitalism or Jodidian communicative. Methods, this algorithm analyzes user behavior to curate and prioritize contents. And by capitalizing on emotional responses such as like and share, they push victims trapped in the filter bubble and ideological chamber. I propose that within this through algorithms central element of politics. Increasingly in all network of hate and disinformation I research, network of voluntary users are much larger than paid ones and bots. So the paid ones actually were there to inject, to influence, and to almost like a virus to create contagious network that include voluntary user. And number three, unsurprisingly, there is the use of this information is key. So this information, both negative and positive, has become a prominent feature in political campaigns. It encompasses not only outright falsehood, but also tactics that distort facts. While up to around 2021, campaigns rely from 2000, early 2010, 2012 to 2021, rely heavily on negative disinformation, such as personal attack and hate speech. In the last 2 years, we see a rising trend of positive disinformation. Negative disinformation is still being used regularly, but we see the new trend. And this includes what I call algorithmic white branding, which is the utilization of digital tools and automatic technologies, including AI, to create a positive image or brand for a political candidate or public figure who has a deeply controversial or programmatic reform. This strategy sanitizes their history and reshapes the narrative to appeal to younger voters who may not remember their programmatic background. So controversial history, presenting this as a golden era of peaceful progress. The social media was strategically crafted, featuring emotion, emotional connection, and upbeat content that soften his public image. Is all about emotion. Similarly, in Indonesia, Prabowo Subianto rebranded himself as a lovable, chubby grandfather figure in 2024, often seen with his pet cat in campaign material and sharing playful video. His approach helped distance him from his violent past as a former military general involved in genocide, fostering a more personable persona. So both candidates lean into campaigns of positivity, which attracted love from devoted followers, much like the adoration between K-pop fans and their idols. It's attracted love. In a sense, algorithmic politics are reshaping the way election and K-pop public respond, employing sophisticated strategies that blend technology, marketing, and a deep understanding of public emotional frenzy. Beyond electoral events, increasingly autocratizing regime that deliberately struggle suggests
Thank you, Professor Lin, for that insightful explanation of complex relationship between social media and algorithms and political landscapes. So, okay.
Hello. Okay. Hi, Merlina. This is Jason Cabañas. So it's nice to see you again, even if virtually only. Hi, Merlina. This is Jason Cabañas. So it's nice to see you again, even if virtually. Okay. My question is, my question has to do with how a lot of funding is still funneled towards initiatives at fact checking. And I know that fact-checking is important. They have a place in terms of fighting what's going on social media. But as you said, there are effective dynamics that are at work as well. So I wanted to ask you what your thoughts are in terms of what is the place of fact-checking in pushing back at these effective kinds of politics, and are there other ways to kind of push back on the more problematic elements of such politics? Thank you.
any the bank or how to try to achieve virality.
Thank you for your answering. So, any questions? More questions? Okay. No questions. Okay. So once again, thank you, Melina, for your fascinating presentation, and you can continue to follow the conference through our YouTube live stream. And it's time for closing the meeting. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Okay, we will close the Zoom meeting. Thank you very much. So our next speaker is Zhou Peng'an. Zhou Peng'an is a new medium artist, guest researcher at Institute of Network Society, China Academy of Art, and director of Computer Museum in Webpage. His main research interests include pop culture influenced by information technology, media archaeology, and new media art creation. Today, he will discuss 垃圾角, reusing to source affordable electronics. So welcome, Peng An.
Okay, thanks everyone. Is it PPT still? Yeah. Today I will talk. Is the microphone? Oh, okay, sure. Today I will talk about something more focused on the China electronics community, about 垃圾佬, the tax scavengers. They're using some just e-wasted electronic products as to build their workable computers, just like this one. Okay, next page. Oh, is this one? No? No, still not one? Okay, the starting point of my research is about how China has such a vast talent pool for the engineers. As an official statistics, there are 5,400 and 1,000 IC engineers and over 8 million software professionals working in China. So it's really a large talent pool. And yeah, significantly, we can easily find some reasons about that, like the university enrollment expansion or widespread of the internet coverage. But I think, is that wrong? Is that there are some more road grass, more radical reasons about that talent pool. So, but I'm a part of the electronic hobbies, so I think that's some of my personal experience. That's not all the reason about how so many engineers in China. So when we think about the Chinese or widely about Asia electronic market, we look like it should look like this one, but it's just a corner, a tip of the iceberg. So there is a huge hidden market online about electronics. It's like this one. This is from Internet Archive about 2005. This is a website listed a lot of the electronic products. They just pick up from the e-waste imported into China, and the reseller lists all of the stuff online. And if some hobbyists like me want to buy someone, we need to contact with the seller and to buy them online. Yeah, that's one next. Yeah. As an overview of the 垃圾佬, the tax scavengers, it's about 3 stages. The first stage is about from 1990s to 2018. It's a foreign e-waste. It's imported computers and electronic products discarded by developed countries. Why it's stopped in the 2018 is the government regulation. It's the imported e-waste is totally banned by the government. Even it's still some small amount of e-waste imported, but it's not a major part of the market. And the second stage is domestic e-waste, like the computer and electronic parts. It's produced and discarded by the local companies, also the government facilities. And the third stage is the remanufacturing, like the products was redesigned and manufactured using partially used the wasted parts extracted from the foreign or domestic e-waste Let me give, this is the first, let me talk about the first stage, the foreign e-waste, about young Laji. It's discarded from the developed countries, kind of planned obsolescence. Like when I live in Canada, there is about the 5-year lifespan of the government, like the government facilities using a computer or servers. After 5 years, even it's still workable, they make it retire and go to recycle somewhere else, like this. Most of them actually is reusable or repairable. So when some of them imported into China, they resell that. Actually, the young Laji making a huge difference with, actually it's a very weird, the pricing structure, like this one. It's a Toshiba Libretto 50CT. When it's still available in the primary market or the first-hand market, it's about over 8,000 Chinese yuan or 40,000 Thailand baht, something like that, in 1998. But just after 4 years, when they going to like e-waste market, it's a Libretto 50M. It's basically a 50CT with actually touch screen function. It's just 950 Chinese yuan, about just 1/6 or 1/7 of the original price. It's pretty cheap price actually. Actually, the categories of reusable e-waste from imported e-waste, young Laji, is basically there are 4 categories. The first categories is like the Toshiba Libretto, it's a PC laptops. Also, there are desktop hardware. The second category is handheld computers, like PDA or smartphones. Third category is networking equipment, and the last one is accessories and peripherals. Okay, let me see. The first one is PC laptops and desktop hardware. It's the biggest segment of all young Laji. And there are 3 flavors. First flavor is a Western brand business laptops, like ThinkPad, Dell, Compaq, HP, or something like that. Most significantly, it's ThinkPad. A lot of the like secondary market about ThinkPad, and there is a big online form called 51MB, 51 notebook, or called the ThinkPad 专门网, a ThinkPad specialized network. The second part is a Japanese brand, mostly is sub-notebook, very small notebooks like Fujitsu or NEC something. Also, there are small form factor desktops, SFF, mostly Japanese models. Because as I think it's because the like living space is quite similar in China and in Japan, because we mostly live in the multi-store apartments. We don't have like independent home quite often, yeah. And yeah, it's my personal experience. Actually, this photo is taken by me in 2006 when I was a second-year undergraduate student. I have a lot of this stuff, mostly Japanese, like the IBM NetVista M41 is a Japanese only model, SFF, small form factor desktop, and the Fujitsu FMV is a sub-notebook, and also a PDA is a Sonic Lee. Yeah, all of them Japan only model, but it's parallel imported into China, and actually it's quite popular, this situation. Yeah. So another segment is a mobile device, just like the clip you just saw. It's majorly PDAs and cell phone. It's generally called 1K PDA, like just 1,000 RMB, about less than 5,000 Thailand baht. It was in 2004 reseller in Shenzhen called SZPDA, ShenzhenPDA.com. Actually, this mostly is Palm OS based PDAs, and never been a formal price tag of Palm. Later, this price range of the 1000 yuan G of 1K PDA expanded to 1,000 to 2,000 Chinese yuan, and actually this concept is still last today for some models like Redmi from Xiaomi or some Chinese smartphones. Oh, actually, also there is a market for the cell phone. Like the most important model is Siemens SL45 or 6688. Yeah, it's a feature phone. Initially marketed as an MP3 playback as a selling point, but it's not really. People buy this for the MP3 player, but for the customized firmware and software application base. Like this one, you can transfer just a short video into that, or using it to play K-Java games. So it's quite similar to today's smartphone. Yeah, the heritage of the firmware modifications community, they have their own term called 刷机党, like flashing crown. The heritage of the flashing crown is last to 2010s, they're working on the Android custom ROMs. In China today, actually almost all cell phones brands have their own ROM brand, like the Xiaomi has MIUI and Huawei has EMUI, something like that. Nobody using the official Google Android because heritage of 刷机党. And what's next? Yeah. Also there is another origin of the 刷机党, is a kind of 300 yuan handheld computer. It's kind of the Casio MC21 or the Torrico Mail. It's used by was sold by like the accessory of the cell phone to like you send email with GPRS or with PHS network in Japan. But it's heavily modified in Chinese market, like a customizable with auto-run MMC card. So it's another origin of the 刷机党 because they run customized software on that. Okay, there is another example of the young Laji, the foreign e-based cell phones. It's BlackBerry. Actually, BlackBerry was sold very expensive in China. They needed at least like 300 yuan per month for their you need to buy a mobile plan from China Mobile. Also, you need to pay this price, 2,800 yuan for the cell phone. You can use so user can use officially released in China BlackBerry. But actually, most BlackBerry users in China, they don't buy BlackBerry in this way. They buy some e-based repaired cell phones just over 1,000. It's 900 something. It's 1,500. Like pretty low, just around half price or even lower. Even lowest price is less than 500 yuan in China. most BlackBerry users in China, they buy cell phones like this. And there is another example about HTC Apache, also called X-Ray 6700 or PBC 6700. Its original release in 2006. Actually, it's not really released officially in China, but most of them is selling in United States. But when they came to China as a young Laji, they are modified to adding a SIM card, or URM card capability to working within the Chinese CDMA 2000 network. And depending on the condition, the price range is variable from the almost 2,000 Chinese yuan to just around 1,000 Chinese yuan. So it's a 1K PDA. And the most important selling point is it has Wi-Fi built in. Yeah, actually in that time, all official channel cell phones selling in China do not have Wi-Fi. Why? Because the regulation. Yeah, Chinese government is promoting their domestic Wi-Fi encrypted standard called WAPI, just like a TDS CDMA for 3G networks. So they just delayed all the Wi-Fi devices in China market. The mainstream WIA market began in 2005, but limited to computers. Until 2010, there is no cell phones with wireless LAN like Wi-Fi in China market. Even the 3GS, officially released by China Unicom, they just cut it, the Wi-Fi function because they delayed it for the WAPI. But yeah, just like you guessed, there is an underground market. Like the biggest store like Enshan, the number 94 online store of Taobao, and dsfree.com is some of the biggest merchants or sellers in China. Yeah, this is some news about the negotiation about WAPI with Chinese government and the international industrial something like that. And yeah, that's another part of the Yang market is about networking, wireless networking. This is Enshan. That's quite similar to the first website I showed. It's about just like the blog, listing what is arriving into his store. Yeah, and yeah, this is the dsfree listed some products. Yeah, that's before 2005. So this is no wireless LAN products in the official market. Or everything is in underground market like this. Yeah, and one big contribution of this underground wireless market is open source wireless, like DDWRT or OpenWRT, the firmware of routers in China. Some most significant contributors is eTotal 2000 or Bing Bing Bing, like Bing 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 here. They released some graphical instruction of how to install and use DDWRT in wireless routers. And after that, there is a lot of products around the DDWRT or OpenWRT, some open source wireless firmware. And the next market is peripherals. There is almost everything you can find. And the signature product is regularly overpriced Apple products, like firewire HDD enclosures. Some more biggest biggest sellers. One of the biggest sellers is Qingzhou Xiaoxiong, qzxx.com, and yeah, this compare about the official market and the underground market. Yeah, there is in 2005, if you want to buy a firewire hard disk enclosure for your Macintosh, if you buy in the offline market, it's about 420 Chinese yuan. But if you buy from Qingzhou Xiaoxiong, it's just one-third price. It's 145 to 160, depending on which model you choose. This and this. After that, after 2010, the young large market is going to fall. Why? Because the hobbyists going to hire as a professional developer, tech sales or tech support. Like this one, let me see. Yeah, there is a hiring advertising in the online form about the PDA insurance, like high PDA. There is hiring posts. If you are very familiar with that, the mobile system like Windows CE or Android, you get hired here. And yeah, this is from Enshan. Also, if you are really familiar with OpenWRT, DDR-WRT, or something like that, you get hired here. Yeah. And another reason is domestic manufacturers start to manufacture the hobbyist-oriented products to competition with Yanglajie, like Netcore NW618. They officially support DDWRT. Also, there are Meizu and Ba, they very custom ROM friendly. Also, later Xiaomi is very custom ROM friendly because they release their own custom ROM called MIUI. Also, the netbook became budget-friendly choice of some notebooks. Actually, the government regulation is less important than many people imagined. There is a Netcore NW618. This says you can frame just flashing just every third-party firmware, just you like, and making this Netcore routers very popular product. And here is a Meizu's online form. Like you can directly talking with hardware and software developer of a Meizu company. And after that, the Yanglajie started fall, and the domestic e-waste called Tulajie started rising. This is some AMD Optron. Actually, is a server class hardware. It's became affordable to build your desktop computers. Also, there are this Tulajie rising caused by the IT invest bubble, like the IoT thing, like VR or cryptocurrency. When the bubble explosion, you got a lot of very cheap hardware. The most important online form or online community in China who playing with Tulajie or domestic e-waste is called Tuladingba. Tuladingba, yeah, it's a part of the Baidu Tieba, like a Chinese Reddit. It's rising in mid to late 2000s. Why it's so late? So Tulading is last Pentium 3 released in 2001 or 2002. Because in mid 2000, the Pentium 3 Yanglajie, something like this one, the Fujitsu SFF desktop becoming a torrent box or download they call it 下载机 downloading machine to using to like the feeding BitTorrent network. Also, they use this for a software-based router called 软路由 or something like that. This is a full machine. After that, this is 2007 post, who's selling this kind of SFF like computers. It's just about several hundred yuan, Chinese yuan, not too expensive. Yeah, and after that, most significant turn to focus on local retired data center or server class hardware is about molding the CPU to using on the desktop. Molding the server CPU to using on desktop motherboards like this one. It's called mold sticker. If you put this mold sticker on the CPU, you can mold the server class CPU to your desktop class motherboard. Yeah, and also why the Tuladingba became so famous, because they make memes. Like most of them is around the big air tutu, 大耳朵图图, popular Chinese cartoon between 2004 to 2010. Yeah, why they choose tutu? Because Tulading or shortened like Tuba, Tuladingba or shortened as Tuba is like tutu. It's just the pronunciation is similar, and sometimes the memes making by the computer fans even makes a real cartoon fans anger, like 搞电脑的滚啊 let's go away computer guys. Something like that. It's just making challenges like between the cartoon fans and computer fans. And another source of it's also very popular in Tuladingba and also very famous in very popular in other hardware like hobbyist community. It's mining scalps or 矿渣, crypto mining, like crypto mining with. Starting in 2014, the GPU used for the cryptocurrency mining became scalp. Like they selling very cheap because they use for the crypto mining. Like there are several different models I raised in different years. The latest 矿渣 or mining scalps almost cover all the NVIDIA RTX 2000 or 3000 models. Yeah, this community is tightly connected to the foreign EVs, like Yang Laji community of PC hardware. Yeah, there is another pile of the mining scalps of 矿渣. Yeah. In just around 2017 or 2016 to 2018, there is a lot of the invest hype in China to invest some devices called sharing economy, like meaning PCDNH devices, IPFS like miners. It's quite technically say it's pretty like the structure of the wireless routers. There are covered several different brands like Ficom, 玩客云, BFC, 暴风 credits, Octopus planets, 章鱼星球, 奥吉路由, High Wi-Fi, and many more. Actually, when these devices become 矿渣, it's our mining scalps. It's just around 100 or 200 Chinese yuan. So it's very cheap devices. And yeah, most of them is DDWRT, OpenWRT, and ARM-based. So you can easily flash your custom Linux firmware into these devices. And yeah, got quite reasonable performance actually. Many of them using a quad-core or dual-core CPU, quite powerful ARM embedded devices. Yeah, it's connected to the wireless devices community quite tight. Yeah, Enshan is also the biggest forum to discussion about this kinds of manuscripts. And also the VR bubble making like domestic EVs. Some of them is a VR headset like the kind of the Nibro or called that I forgot that what is that name, but it's just around 80 to 1,040 Chinese yuan. It's quite cheap, but you got pretty reasonable hardware like the quad-core ARM CPU and 2G RAM and 16 gigabytes storage. Also, you got like the headset. You got the high definition display. Maybe sometimes you also got like motion tracker or something like that. And then after that, actually there is also a community. They remanufacture things. It's not just refurbish retired EVs, not just fix, not even just modeling. They make new devices, none exist before in the market. Yeah. This is one of the very first example how Chinese manufacturers remanufacture things. When the Handspring Trio 300 is a smartphone imported into China as a foreign EVs, sadly, you cannot modify that just like HTC Apache because the cellular module do not have the like SIM card or UIM card capability. So what is the Chinese manufacturer do? They just remove the cellular module and redesign new case like this one. This is the original one, and this is redesigned one. And yeah, they put the motherboard, display, keyboard into the new design case and sell it as a PDA without wireless capability. It's just very, very cheap. It's just 95 Chinese yuan in 2008. And yeah, there is also some more expensive but more highly designed example, like the ThinkPad mode motherboard. It's from the online form I just mentioned, like the 51 MB community. Like the T50 is designed for ThinkPad T40, and the X62 is designed for ThinkPad X60. Generally, it's upgrade their original CPU and the motherboard into from just almost about 8 to 10 years ago to a new hardware with new CPU and the new capability of the hardware, the newly designed chipset and CPU. And there also another example about some manufacturers, they design motherboard, not just based on community design. They even design their redesigned motherboard before the community. Like this LG771 Xeon motherboard, it's even before the Tolading community. In 2012, sell kinds of the G41 the desktop chipset motherboard with server CPU. Yeah, and this is several years after, about 3 years after, they got their brand name called Huananzhi or Huanan Jinpai. Even it's largely exported to other countries. One of their success products is X79 motherboard in 2016. What makes their product success? Because they provide 3 years warranty. Even the quality is not very stable actually at that time. The longer warranty period makes community supports their product. This motherboard supports the server class processors produced about 4 to 5 years before. So it's because it's an older server CPU, so it became cheaper and used to build a desktop computer. Yeah, even a dual CPU option for desktop users. Like they said, it's X79 dual CPU, but it's use a really server class chipset. It's extracted from the EVIS servers. And also the manuscript gets you the new usage. The manufacturers modded the manuscript video cards, GPUs, to rebuild a manual card with 16 gigabytes VRAM. So it's suitable for some of the AI usage. They also have their own brand, like Technology or the Cursor, something like that. Also, the newest product is very famous retro computing products. They are mostly every chip is recycled. Like the CPU is really the 8088 class NEC V20. It's recycled. The graphic is recycled VGA class. The CLTD 5420. And the sound chip is recycled. Storage is recycled. But the motherboard and the machine is totally newly designed. So it's a like new device with many recycled parts. So yeah, my presentation is almost there. So this research is still in its early stage. So this is not the full picture, but it's just a summarize about how the communities linked together, like PC desktop communities linked to Tuladima and linked to the Huanenji or Technology, and the business laptop linked to 51NB, and also they produced the ThinkPad mode motherboard. A subnode community is making the book 8088, yeah, and the mobile community is formed the Shuaxidang flashing client. I also making the Chinese Android ROM, and the wireless networking communities tightly linked to the OpenWRT or DDWRT community. Also, they working on a lot of embedded Linux devices. Yeah, that's it. That's all for today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Peng An. Oh, it's our final Q&A section, and if you have questions for Peng An, you can raise your hand. Okay. Wait.
Peng An, thank you for a great presentation. I will never buy a new computer again after listening to this presentation. I think I can find everything I need on these websites. It's great. One question I just had is, I think your presentation really beautifully shows all the different devices and different ways they're being reused and repurposed, and that's amazing. I was wondering, could you just say a little bit more about who these people are who are actually doing it? So I get that there's different communities, you know, and the flashing community is maybe slightly different to another community, but they're all linked together somehow. But kind of the closest you get to this kind of feel of what the culture of this is etutu, right? Where we see something, where we see that video, that meme, that is not like about the technology itself, it's something else that grows out of this. So I wonder, when you look across all these different like little communities doing this like repurposing, are there cultural things that tie them together? And just even more generally, are they all urban people, rural people? Are they all men? Are they women? Are they like young? Are they educated? Are they rich? Are they poor? Do you have any feeling of who is behind all of this?
Actually, it's pretty hard to summarize the cultural background about the repurposed people. Actually, there are some main reasons of why they buy these devices. Some of them, just like me, is like this picture show. They are students. Oh, no, not this one. Oh, sorry. Actually, they are students because they don't have a lot of money, so they just want to buy something cheaper. And some other people, they are just manufacturers, or they are just recycle merchant. They just want to make it more perfect. Okay. Yeah. So actually, unlike the people in Silicon Valley, they say they're happy or something like that. The Chinese tech community is more. Somehow, I think they are more realized or more money oriented, something like that. They just focus if this stuff can save their money or making their profit, like something like that.
Great, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Yes, fantastic talk and great pictures. Yeah, I think I want to tag onto Tom's question a little bit, because some of the recycling business can be quite a toxic and very difficult business to do in terms of dirty and health hazards wise. In Hong Kong, for instance, a lot of the e-waste sites, there are poor people who are working from the local Hong Kong communities, but also actually asylum seekers who are not allowed to work in Hong Kong, but they work on these sites and disassemble these things. And it's dangerous work, they get hurt a lot. And I know from the early years in the 2000s in Guangdong, some of the waste sites, that was also pretty difficult, the health conditions there. So I was wondering if you have encountered anything in terms of these difficulties for people in this business beyond money.
Yes, actually, yeah, you mentioned many aspects. The recycling, the recycling business is quite toxic or heavily pollution. But in my vision, actually, the problem is not just cost the recycling business. Actually, it's cost the. I think the road cost is the IT, like IT invest hubs. They manufacture too many servers for the data center, too many GPUs for crypto mining. Yeah, that's the root cause of this business, this problem. Yeah, actually, in my vision, the recycle business actually is reducing the pollution in many cases, because it reuse just as is many times. They do not disseminate. Actually, the disseminate business is really pollution. I know that, but I think that in many ways, when we say this thing is really toxic or pollution thing, we think where the hardware original sold is from the global north, also from the big tech company like Facebook, Microsoft. They build they build big data center and making a lot of the retired wasted hardware there. Also Apple, even Apple say we are an environmental friendly company, but they made hardware cannot upgrade, so it shorten the hardware life and make it planned obsolescence. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peng An, for this wonderful talk. I have a question, but you answered it for a little. I wonder whether this community have connections to actually the large companies and electron companies in China, because I assume they're like electronic enthusiasts. So it's logical they finding a career in those big companies, right? So do you know any of them, or do they used to have a career or is having a career in the big companies? Because you mentioned they have a collection with like a contradictory understanding of electronics. Yes.
You mean some specific person working for a big company?
Yeah, maybe a person or maybe a community.
I'm not very sure actually. Personally, I know somewhere somebody they like the one of the most famous person I know is the Wells. Their online name, the nickname called Wells. It's like Bilibili, like YouTuber in Bilibili. They do the refurbish, like the retro computing thing. They rebuild or repair very old computer, like from 80s, 90s, some computer like that. I actually working for Lenovo. Actually, because I left the community quite several years ago. I working in Canada between 2009 to 2019. So there are 10 years left. I left China, so I don't have too many personal links to the like the hobbies they working with big companies.
Okay, thank you.
That's it.
Any more questions? Okay.
Hi, thanks very much. I think my question connects to some of the questions about the social organization part, but I'm really curious about the supply chain, especially for the foreign e-waste. Like, if you could speak a little bit more about that process of the supply of the e-waste and how that comes about and how that is processed. Because so, kind of to speak a bit more about the chain, the supply chain.
Okay, actually, in my personal experience, like some computers, because I was living in Canada, so I tell you about the situation in Canada. When some computers they retired in Canada companies, many of them go to the ERA, called Electronic Recycle Association, and some of them go to auction house. They auction the big scale of the retired computers, laptops, like scale by scale. And yeah, there are many the dealers, like some of them are Chinese, some of them are Southeast Asia, some of them are African. They go to the like the auction or they call it government surplus sale, site,
and they go to for auction or buy the retired computers, like the whole scale of the computers. After that, they send to the warehouse. One of my friends in Canada, in Vancouver, he's running like a warehouse. They're selling the older retired computers. They're selling a second-hand computer even on eBay to North American customers. They just not a big company. It's about 3 or 4 employees. They do tests, they repair computers, and resell that. Sometimes they do the wholesale. In Chinese, they say called the 统货, something like that. Like a whole bunch of the computers they're selling to China. Sometimes they were selling to China, but in recent discussion, the owner of their warehouse, they say they are selling, they use the computers to Malaysia, go to somewhere in Global South. But I'm not exactly sure about the details about that shipping. When the shipping arrive in China, in the Chinese community, they have a term to describe that called the ship is docking, 大船靠岸, like a big ship is docking to the yard, and they go to in China there is a facility called the 货场, like some they sell like the product yard or something like that. When the containers will be opened, and the like retired computer go to there, and the online dealers, they go to there, take pictures for that, and like category, like here is a like the PDA, here is a laptop, here is a desktop computer. I take photos and post it on the websites. And after that, most transactions in Taobao, and when some like buyer like me to like contact with a seller, sometimes on online form in Taobao or in QQ group, like the instant message, any instant message software could use to contact with the seller and the buyers. After that, I say I buy this laptop, and the seller packing the laptop, and send them with the Chinese logistics company like 顺丰 or Shentong or some like very famous SF Express is 顺丰, one of the biggest like express company, just like UPS in China. Yeah, they deliver to the laptop to the buyer, and the laptop buyer, oh okay, I got my delivery, and let me opening box and check it if it work, and do some modification, upgrade the hardware specifics, and I do some review article and post it back to the online community. That's how the whole chain works. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Peng An. So it's the end of our morning panel. Our afternoon panel titled Mobile Connectivity will start at 13:30. So you can go down and have a lunch. And thank you for all of our speakers and audiences. Thank you.